There is a severe blood shortage across the country. Hospitals are beginning to reserve blood now for people who need it most, and it is having a ripple effect. NewsNation correspondent Kelly Meyer is live outside of the American Red Cross headquarters in Washington, D.C. tonight. Kelly.
Marty, well, the need is all over in every state, and workers here at American Red Cross headquarters are pleading for donations and fear the shortage is only going to get worse. Empty shelves in Shreveport, Louisiana, blood drives in Tyler, Texas, and Arlington, Virginia, and in Richmond, an urgent call for people to roll up their sleeves.
It's a very personal choice to give blood, and there's a donor at the other end of that donation that we want to make sure can be able to receive that donation when they need it.
All because of a sudden shortage of blood, bringing increased worries about the nation's blood supply amid a post-pandemic surge in demand.
It is going off of our shelves as fast as we can collect it, and it's still not enough.
The reason? The Red Cross says demand from hospitals has spiked, up 10% from before the pandemic, as more and more people take to the roads, driving a spike in trauma cases. And there is a big surge in elective surgeries put off in the pandemic, along with increased demand for organ transplants. With blood shortages hitting hospitals across the country, fear for patient care is growing.
We are seeing hospitals having to postpone or delay care.
Now hospitals are starting to audit requests for blood, double-checking doctors as they prepare for procedures, trying to conserve supply for only those who need it most.
Having been in the hospital with surgeries in the past years, it's nice that people give blood.
The Red Cross says the shortage has hit all blood types, with demand up 10% over the last 3 months. While donations have dipped, the most urgent need now, type O, the most transfused blood type. One Louisiana donor who says he's been giving blood since the 70s says it's time for people to step up.
It's our duty to do this, and we should be willing to do that, all of us.
And I'm told the need for donations is always stronger in the summer, so that on top of the already increased demand is really making this a dangerous situation for patients across the country. Marnie?
Critical plea tonight. Kelly Meyer in D.C. Kelly, thank you. For more on this now, I want to bring in Dr. Claudia Cohn, Chief Medical Officer for the American Association of Blood Banks. I appreciate your time tonight. It couldn't be more important than now.
Thanks for having me. This is an important issue.
Yes, so you have used the word unprecedented to describe the nation's blood supply. Elaborate on the need.
Absolutely. I've been in this business for many years, and I've never seen a blood shortage of this level. It's the blood supply is extremely low. It is nationwide. Sometimes we have very short shortages that are just local. Now we're seeing it across the entire nation. It's affecting every blood center that I know of, and most hospitals are affected.
When you talk about supplies being low, for folks at home, how does that relate to, procedures they may have coming up? They've got a loved one in the hospital. Roll that forward into what is impacted greatly when we don't have enough blood.
Sure. So hospitals will do what is necessary to make sure we can take care of the sickest patients. So if you have a procedure that is non-essential, we might ask you to delay it a little longer, as we had to do at the beginning of COVID. If we have only enough on the shelf for some patients, we will give smaller amounts to other patients who might not need it as much. We'll do everything possible to keep our patients healthy. But if we have a limited supply and we have a lot of demand, we have to stretch the blood supply to make it last.
Dr. Cohn, it sounds like the pandemic is hugely responsible for where we are right now, but were there other factors that led us to this point?
I think it is largely the pandemic. Blood centers are used to using schools and businesses to host their blood drives, and schools are of course not open. That is usual for the summer, but a lot of businesses are not yet open either. So there are fewer blood drives, and a lot of people put off non-essential surgeries during the pandemic. They're vaccinated now, they're going back to the hospital, they're getting those surgeries done. And so, as was noted earlier in the broadcast, there's a 10% increase in procedures being done in hospitals. So with fewer people able to donate blood or willing to donate blood, and demand up at hospitals, it's a bad scene. We need the blood badly.
And as I understand it, the greatest need right now is type O, but we need all of them.
Yes, type O is always in greatest demand because it is the universal blood type for everyone. And so if you have an emergency, if you're in a car crash and we don't know what blood type you are, we can give you O safely. But we need every type. So everyone who is out there who's listening to this, please roll up your sleeve, go to a blood center, go to your local blood center. The AABB, for which I work, we have a tool that can help you on our website where you can find your local blood center, you can make an appointment and give, and that's about an hour and a half of your day, and that could save a life. It's a wonderful thing to do. It's a wonderful habit to get into so that you continue to give, because we are constantly struggling to have enough blood in our shelves. Now it's a critical shortage, but a few weeks from now we might have enough, but we'll always need more. So making it a habit of giving blood is a wonderful way to give back to your community.
Well, critical, and I appreciate you helping get the word out tonight. There is a life on the other end of that donation. Dr. Claudia Cohn, the American Association of Blood Banks, thank you. Keep us posted.
Thank you so much for having me.